President Biden has repeatedly said that a recession is not inevitable. Do you agree with him?
Yes, I do, actually. I will say, always being fair, I've been very disappointed. I think Biden has been quite Trumpian in his inability, or at least his lack of desire to take any accountability. I think the American people want a president who takes accountability, and people understand that you steer the ship as best you can, and you don't always get things right, and you make mistakes, and it's a tough call. It's the hardest job in the world, and I think he would be. And he said when he was running that he was going to be accountable, that he wasn't going to be Trump. And frankly, he's acting like Trump a lot and not taking accountability, and that's a real mistake for everything from
I think people would love Trump's economy, right?
Well, that's another thing. We'll get to that in a second. But to answer your question, I think that we're not sure there's going to be a recession. This is not a typical situation. I think right now there's still a lot of unmet jobs, there's 11 million job openings in this country. I think, thank God, they're focusing on trying to get more immigrants in. So I would say right now, I'm not as bullish as Biden? No, but I'm not as bearish as Larry Summers either. That's the short answer to your question. How about you?
I guess I'm more on the Larry Summers side of things. I think that there's a good chance that we might go into recession. I think the Fed was asleep at the wheel. Everything it was doing with expanding its balance sheet and then not moving on interest rates. I mean, overall, I'm on the Steve Forbes direction of the Fed and how much power it has. But I think what's happened, they've overcorrected so quickly now with the 75 basis points increase, and that's gonna, I think, slide a lot of people further and further down. The Michigan sentiment index, I think it's been around 70 years, and it's the lowest it's ever measured in terms of consumer sentiment. So that's where all the signs are pointing. But, I love this country. I hope it doesn't get to that point. And I think, if it takes getting a turnaround in November to get a Congress who's going to block some of what Biden's doing, then that's a good thing.
Well, yeah, I do agree with you, by the way, on the Fed. I think a lot of, and this is true of both parties, a lot of presidents now just cede this type of action to the Fed, where it used to be a team effort. Yeah, monetary policy is important, but so is fiscal policy, right? When you look at how we've best dealt with this stuff in the past, whether it was Reagan or Clinton, it was a combination of the two. And that's what I would like to see. So we're on the same plane on that one. And but I also believe the key will be how much more does the Fed have to cut? If interest rates have to go up to like 5 or 6%, then we will have a recession. If we can get by at 3 or 4%, then we might not, because it's just a question of, obviously, if you have 6%, it's going to cut demand enough down where you will have one. So, but as always, great conversation, and I wish the rest of the pundits could do it with as much civility as we do. Passion and civility. That's our name game. Folks, thanks for joining us on Practically Political. We'll see you next time.
See you then.